Hello and welcome to the Dr. English channel.
We're so glad you could join us today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dr. English channel. You know, that place where learning English doesn't feel like pulling teeth. It's actually fun here, I promise. I'm Igor, and honestly, I'm super pumped to be here with you guys today for another deep dive into the English language.
And I'm Karina. Hello to all you amazing people listening from literally every corner of the planet. Igor, I gotta say, you're looking unusually energetic today, like suspiciously energetic. Did you discover some secret energy source this morning? Should I be concerned?
Okay, you got me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic right now because I kicked off my morning with this absolutely massive cup of coffee. You know how we're always talking about coffee here? Well, today's episode is proof that coffee really is the magical elixir that keeps the entire world spinning. But here's the thing. The coffee isn't just my morning fuel today. It's actually going to be a pretty important part of the story we're about to tell.
Ooh, now you've got my attention. What exactly do we have lined up for today? Give me a hint, come on.
All right. So today's topic is... how do I describe it? It's fast-paced, it's incredibly loud, and it's constantly busy, like nonstop busy. Any guesses?
Fast, loud, and busy. Let me think here. Oh, I think I know exactly where you're going with this. Are we diving into life in the big city today?
Bingo, Karina, you nailed it. Today, we're exploring the daily routine in a big city, the kind of massive metropolitan area where millions of people are trying to navigate their lives all at once. This is such a relevant topic because, let's be real, so many of our listeners actually live in these huge cities, and life there is completely different from life in a small town or rural area. The pace is it's on a whole different level, you know?
It absolutely is. Today, we're going to help our listeners really understand and navigate that fast-paced urban lifestyle. We'll talk about commuting, which is a whole adventure in itself, dealing with crazy traffic, managing crowds that feel like they're everywhere, and we'll cover some really specific city vocabulary that'll help people describe their own daily experiences. I think it's going to be super helpful and honestly, pretty entertaining too. But Igor, before we jump into all that hustle and bustle, we've got our usual little requests for everyone listening, right?
Oh, absolutely. So if you're enjoying learning English with Karina and me, and I really hope you are, please take just 1 second to click that like button. I know it seems like such a small thing, but trust me, it makes a massive difference for our channel. It helps us reach more people who want to learn English. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to Dr. English channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. We're here every week to help you level up your English game.
Exactly. And don't be shy about sharing this episode with your friends, especially if they're also living that hectic city life and want to learn how to talk about it in English. The more, the merrier. Now, Igor, let's paint a picture here. Let's really set the scene for everyone.
Okay, close your eyes for a second. Well, maybe not if you're driving, but imagine this. The towering skyscrapers of New York City piercing the clouds, the ancient cobblestone streets of London mixing with modern glass buildings, the absolutely mesmerizing neon lights of Tokyo creating this electric atmosphere, or the vibrant pulsing energy of Sao Paulo with its incredible mix of cultures.
Oh, I'm totally picturing it right now. Those impossibly tall buildings reaching toward the sky, endless rows of cars stretching as far as you can see, and people, just people everywhere, moving in all directions like some kind of organized chaos. So Igor, in a place like that, how does a typical day even begin? Walk me through it.
For me, and honestly for most people living in the city, it all starts with this absolutely brutal alarm clock going off way too early. I'm talking like 6 a.m., sometimes even earlier. In the city, you pretty much have to wake up early because of something we call the commute. That's the journey you take to get to work every single day.
Ah, yes, commute. That's such a crucial word for any English learner to know, especially if they're living in or visiting a big city. Could you break down exactly what that means for everyone listening?
Of course. So your commute is basically your daily journey to work. It's that travel time from your home to your office in the morning, and then from your office back home in the evening. And here's the thing about commuting in a big city. It can either be this interesting adventure where you see new things and people every day, or, and let's be completely honest here, it can feel like an absolute nightmare. There's really no in between.
Yeah, I definitely fall into the nightmare category on most mornings, not gonna lie. So how do you usually handle your commute, Igor? Do you drive a car through the city?
Oh God, no, absolutely not. Driving in the city is it's a nightmare. The traffic is insane. You could literally spend 2 or 3 hours just sitting in your car, barely moving, watching the minutes of your life tick away. It's not worth the stress.
I'm totally with you on that one. So I'm guessing you depend on public transportation then.
Exactly. I take the subway every single day. That's the train system that runs underground beneath all the streets and buildings. It's actually pretty interesting how different cities have different names for it. Like in London, they famously call it the Tube, which I think is kind of cute. In Paris, it's the Metro. In some cities, people call it the Underground, but here in New York and in a lot of American cities, we just say subway. Same thing, different name.
I take the subway too, but I have to admit I have this really complicated love-hate relationship with it. Some days I'm grateful for it, other days I want to throw my coffee at the turnstile.
Okay, I need to hear this. What specifically do you hate about it? Give me the details.
It's the crowds, Igor. Like, specifically the absolutely insane crowds, especially around 8 a.m., which is what we call rush hour. It's too much humanity in too small a space.
Oh, rush hour. That's definitely a phrase everyone needs to write down in their notebooks right now. It refers to those specific times during the day, usually in the morning around 7 to 9 a.m., and then again in the evening from about 5 to 7 p.m., when literally everyone is trying to travel to work or home at the exact same time. It creates this perfect storm of busyness and chaos.
It really does. There are just people absolutely everywhere, packed on the platform, waiting for the train, crowding the stairs and escalators, and especially crammed inside the actual train cars. Most of the time during rush hour, you can't even dream of finding a seat. You just accept that you'll be standing.
A seat? I don't think I've actually sat down during my morning commute in literally years. I'm always standing there, gripping onto one of those metal poles or hanging straps for dear life, trying to keep my balance while being pressed up against complete strangers. It's like this weird, intimate experience with people you've never met and will probably never see again.
Sometimes way too intimate. Personal space just doesn't exist during rush hour. There's actually this funny English expression we use to describe it. We say we're packed like sardines.
Oh, I love that expression. It's so visual, right? It's like we're all these little fish pressed tightly together in a metal can, swimming, or in this case, riding to our destination. It's definitely not comfortable, and it can get pretty sweaty in the summer, but you have to admit, the subway is incredibly fast and efficient.
That's very true. It's usually way faster than taking the bus, at least in my experience. Do you ever take the bus anywhere, Igor, or are you strictly a subway person?
You know, I do take the bus occasionally, but only when I'm not in a huge rush or have some extra time to kill. The thing I actually like about the bus is that you can see the city as you're traveling through it. You're up at street level, so you can look out the windows at all the shops, the restaurants, the people walking around. On the subway, all you see is darkness whooshing past the windows and occasionally a rat on the tracks.
That's actually a really nice way to look at it. I never thought about it like that. On the bus, you can watch the city come alive, see the different neighborhoods change as you pass through them. But there is one pretty major downside to bus travel, isn't there?
Oh, you mean the dreaded traffic jams. Man, I absolutely hate traffic jams. That's when there are just way too many cars on the road and everything comes to a complete standstill. You're just sitting there, going nowhere, while everyone around you is honking their horns like that's somehow going to magically make the traffic disappear. It's incredibly frustrating.
Honking, that's such a perfect word for that loud, annoying beep beep sound that car horns make. The city is just such a noisy place in general, isn't it? Like constant noise from every direction.
It's unbelievably loud. You've got cars honking at each other constantly, sirens from police cars and ambulances screaming past, people having loud conversations or arguments on the street, music blasting from store speakers, and then there's always, and I mean always, construction happening somewhere. Someone's jackhammering concrete at 7 a.m., someone else is drilling into a building at 3 p.m. It never ends.
You're not even exaggerating. There's always some kind of construction going on. Someone's always tearing down an old building or putting up a new skyscraper. It's like the city is constantly rebuilding itself.
I absolutely love that word, skyscraper. It's such a beautifully descriptive word, you know? It literally means a building so tall that it looks like it's scraping or scratching the sky. When I'm standing at the bottom of one of those massive skyscrapers and I look straight up, I feel so incredibly small, like an ant looking up at a giant.
Same here, but they're absolutely stunning at night when all the office lights are on and glowing. The city skyline at night is honestly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Anyway, once we somehow survive the chaotic commute and all that noise, we finally make it to the office. And then what?
Well, the very first thing most of us do, and I'm definitely guilty of this, is immediately make or buy another cup of coffee. That's the second cup of the day, sometimes the third if you're really struggling. Then we finally settle in and actually start working. But Karina, lunchtime in the city is a whole different experience. What do you usually do for lunch?
Oh man, lunch in the city is both amazing and overwhelming at the same time. There are almost too many choices, you know? Like you could eat something different every single day for a year and still not try every restaurant. Sometimes it's genuinely hard to decide where to go or what to eat.
Do you usually pack your lunch from home and bring it with you? I know a lot of people do that to save money.
Sometimes I do, especially when I'm really trying to stick to a budget and save money. Eating out every day gets expensive fast, but other days, especially when I'm craving something specific, I love to just go out and buy something fresh and hot. One of my absolute favorite things about city life is the food trucks. They're everywhere.
Oh, I love food trucks too. They're basically like tiny mobile kitchens on wheels just parked right there on the sidewalk or at the corner of a busy intersection. You can get literally anything: tacos, burgers, sandwiches, dumplings, crepes, falafel, and it's usually delicious and served super fast. Plus, it's often way cheaper than sitting down in a restaurant.
Speed is absolutely everything in the city. Have you ever noticed how everyone walks so fast? Like speed walking is just the default mode.
Oh, definitely. If you're walking at a normal, leisurely pace on a busy city sidewalk, people will actually get visibly annoyed with you. They'll huff and puff behind you, then squeeze past you with this irritated look, sometimes even saying, "Excuse me, can you move, please?" Or just a sharp, "Coming through." It's all part of what we call the hustle and bustle of city life.
Hustle and bustle. God, what a perfect phrase for describing city energy. It captures both the constant busy activity and the never-ending noise of the urban environment. The city has this really unique electric energy that honestly makes me feel alive and awake, though I'll admit it also leaves me pretty exhausted by the time I get home at the end of the day.
I feel exactly the same way. It's like the city gives you energy and drains you at the same time. And then, of course, after working all day, it's time to face the evening commute all over again. Round two.
The journey home is definitely different from the morning rush, though. Everyone's exhausted and just wants to get home. The subway is usually a bit quieter because people are either staring at their phones, scrolling through social media, reading books or newspapers, or literally falling asleep. I've seen people doze off mid-commute.
I've actually witnessed people sleeping while standing up on a packed subway train, like fully asleep, head bobbing, somehow maintaining their balance. It's honestly a talent, like some kind of superpower. But once we finally make it home, the city doesn't just shut down and go to sleep, does it?
Nope. That's why they call places like New York the city that never sleeps. That's actually a really famous expression that was originally about New York City, but honestly, it applies to tons of big cities around the world. Tokyo, London, Mumbai, Mexico City. There's always something happening, no matter what time it is. Restaurants stay open until midnight or later. Movie theaters have late-night showings. Theaters and comedy clubs have evening performances. And shopping malls keep their doors open way past what you'd expect.
So do you go out much in the evenings, Karina? Are you one of those people who's always out experiencing the nightlife?
On Fridays and Saturdays, absolutely. That's when I want to take advantage of everything the city offers. But during the weekdays, honestly, most nights I just want to collapse on my sofa, put on comfortable clothes, and binge watch something on Netflix while eating takeout. though I do occasionally meet up with friends for dinner on a Wednesday or Thursday, especially if someone's celebrating something or we haven't seen each other in a while. And one of the absolute best parts of city life is that you can find authentic food from literally every country in the world.
It's true. Italian, Chinese, Indian, Mexican, Ethiopian, Thai, Lebanese, Brazilian, it's all right there within a few blocks of wherever you are. You can practically travel the entire world just by eating dinner at different restaurants each night. That incredible diversity is honestly my favorite aspect of living in the city.
Mine too. The different people, the languages you hear on the street, the food, the cultural events. It's like the whole world condensed into a few square miles. But Igor, I have to be completely honest about something. Sometimes the city is just too much. Too much noise, too much concrete, too many cars, too many people, too much of everything.
I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you wake up on a Sunday morning and you just need a break from all the stimulation. You need a bit of nature, some green space, some quiet where you can actually hear birds instead of sirens.
Yes, exactly. Where do you go when you need to escape all the chaos and recharge?
I usually head to the park. Every great city has at least one famous, massive park. Central Park in New York, Hyde Park in London, the Bois de Boulogne in Paris, Yoyogi Park in Tokyo. These parks are like these magical oases in the middle of all the urban chaos.
An oasis. I love that word. It means a quiet, peaceful, refreshing place right in the middle of chaos or a difficult environment. I love going to the park, finding a quiet bench away from the main paths, just sitting there watching the birds and squirrels, maybe eating a sandwich or reading a book. It helps you completely forget about the traffic and crowds for a little while.
It's so crucial to find that balance. The city is exciting and full of opportunities, but you absolutely need time to relax and reset too. Otherwise, you'll burn out. So, Karina, here's a hypothetical question for you. Could you ever see yourself living in a small, quiet town? Like a place with one main street, no subway, no skyscrapers, where everyone knows everyone?
Wow, that's actually a really tough question. A town with no subway and no skyscrapers? Maybe when I'm much older, like in my 60s or 70s. But right now, I genuinely crave the energy of the city. I know it's exhausting and overwhelming sometimes, but I actually enjoy the hustle and bustle. I like having options. What about you?
I'm pretty much the same. I complain about rush hour constantly. Literally everyone who lives in a city does. But I absolutely love the convenience of having everything so close. The grocery stores, the doctors, the gyms, the entertainment venues, the restaurants. It's all right there, often within walking distance or just a quick subway ride away.
Exactly. If I suddenly decide I want ice cream or cookies at midnight, I can just walk out my door and find a store that's open. Try doing that in a small town. Everything closes at like 7 p.m.
Ah, yes, the emergency midnight snack run. That's a very important part of city life that people don't talk about enough. You know, Karina, there's one more aspect of the city routine we haven't really discussed yet, the fashion and how people dress.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you brought that up. People dress so well in big cities, especially in the business and financial districts. You see men in these perfectly tailored, sharp suits, women in elegant dresses or power suits, everyone looking polished and put together. It's like watching a fashion show on the sidewalk every single day.
But here's what I love even more. The city is also a place where you can wear literally anything you want and nobody bats an eye. You want to wear a crazy hat with feathers? Go for it. Neon pink pants? Nobody cares. Vintage clothing from the 1970s? Perfect. The city just accepts everyone and everything. I love that you can truly be yourself and express your individuality without judgment.
Me too. That freedom is really special. Well, Igor, we've covered a ton of ground today. We've talked about commuting, traffic, crowds, food, parks, fashion. Let's do a quick review of some of our key city vocabulary words for everyone listening.
Great idea. Let's break it down. First up, we have commute, which is your daily journey to and from work. Then there's rush hour, which is the busiest time of day for travel, usually morning and evening. We talked about the subway. That's the underground train system, though remember it has different names in different cities. Traffic jam is when there are too many cars on the road and everything stops moving. Skyscraper refers to those incredibly tall buildings that dominate the city skyline.
And don't forget hustle and bustle, which perfectly describes the busy, energetic atmosphere of city life.
Those are such incredibly useful words. If you visit or live in a big city, you'll encounter these things and these situations constantly. Just one final tip from me. Don't get lost in the crowds. It's easier than you think.
Do you have any practical advice for that?
Well, my very modern tip is to always have a map app on your phone, Google Maps or something similar. But also, don't be afraid to ask for directions. That's great English practice too.
Absolutely. You can practice your English by asking locals questions like, "Excuse me, where is the nearest subway station?" Or, "Can you recommend a good coffee shop around here?" Or, "Which direction is Times Square?" People are usually happy to help, despite the city's reputation for being unfriendly.
That's true. City people seem rushed and cold, but most are actually pretty helpful if you just ask nicely. Igor, talking about all this city stuff is actually making me want to go out right now and experience the city.
Really? Where would you go if you left right now?
I think I'd take a long walk through the park, maybe find one of those food trucks that sells pretzels with that amazing spicy mustard, and then just people watch for a while. That's one of my favorite activities, just sitting on a bench and watching the incredible variety of humanity walk by.
That sounds absolutely perfect. Sadly, our time together today is almost up. Time really does fly.
It goes so fast, doesn't it? Just like life in the city. Blink and you miss it. I've really enjoyed this conversation today, and I genuinely hope our listeners got a lot out of it too.
We absolutely want to hear from all of you. Do you live in a big city or a small town? What's your favorite part of where you live? Do you love the noise and energy, or do you prefer peace and quiet? Tell us in the comment section below. It's wonderful practice for your English writing skills, and we actually read every single comment.
Yes, please share your experiences with us. We love hearing from people all over the world. And before you head out into your day, whether you're about to hop on the subway or take a quiet walk in nature, don't forget to subscribe to Dr. English channel and hit that like button if you learned something new today.
And share this episode with your friends, especially the ones who take the subway every morning and could use some new English vocabulary.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. You guys are all absolutely fantastic, and we really appreciate you spending this time with us.
Have a wonderful day, whether you're navigating a busy city or enjoying the peace of a quiet town. Wherever you are, I hope you're doing well.
Bye for now. Until next time.
See you next time. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.